Welcome to actioncorp, episode 3. I'm Seth, this is Chris. We're going to talk tonight. We've got a mainly Nintendo-themed show, but we're going to try to break it up a little bit with some smaller news here and there. We're going to start with a look at Godzilla. Chris has got a closer look at that.
Basically what we got here is first video of a game that's been in development for the GameCube for quite a while. When the GameCube was first announced, this was one of the games that they talked about making, and it's been in development for a while now. It's based on the original Toho Godzilla. It's got all the original monsters. It's basically a fighting game, but kind of cool because you can smash people through buildings and pick up a gas car and throw them at them and all sorts of neat stuff. Graphics are okay, but it really looks like a fun game more than it is a graphics powerhouse. And we've got a video of that right now, so let's take a look.
Are we talking? Sure.
Reporting from downtown, where the recent rash of monster sightings from around the world has finally hit close to home, is a loud rumbling. I can see something coming through the clearing. Oh no, it's Godzilla!
They're just capitalizing on the Super
Yeah,
Mario.
I think so. If you didn't catch that, the name of the game is actually called Destroy All Monsters Melee, just like Super Smash Bros. Melee. Anyway, looks kind of fun. I think it's definitely a renter. I'm not like eager to purchase that game, but I'll probably rent it when it comes out. You know, it's got Mecha Godzilla and he's kind of cool. So, anyway, heading over to Seth now. He's got a pretty cool segment going on here about Metroid, I believe.
Metroid Prime was originally going to be a third-party game for the GameCube. Retro Studios was taking over, and due to a little bit of the slowness of Retro's development, Nintendo ended up buying Retro, so now Metroid is back as a first-party game. We've got a couple of different videos of the opening scene of it here.
Actually, we don't have the opening scene, unfortunately. We do have
Well, maybe the first few minutes of gameplay footage.
We've got 4 video clips of in-game footage. The first clip, I don't mean to take this away from you, but the first clip is it shows Samus doing the auto-targeting and unlocking some gates, I believe. I couldn't get that one. I think when her hand touches the gun, that's a special kind of attack. It signifies that it's not the regular blast. There's something special about it. I read that somewhere, that when she's holding her hand out like that, that means that it's not the default attack, it's a different attack. And there's other ones too where her gun will light up for a special kind of attack. The next video, I'm not exactly sure. I think this one shows her going into the morph ball.
We might as well. Let's just play these. They should be all in sequence. We might as well just play one to the next.
Yeah, that's fine. And we'll talk over them too, so we can.
But yeah, it's supposed to be one continuous scene of the first few minutes of gameplay.
Yeah. Now, we saw this one already, Chris. Oh, we're going to show it again, though. No, I guess okay. Here's the morph ball. So then the third person. Yeah. That is so good looking. What are those called? Morph bombs? I thought they had a name.
Oh, that's cool.
This is when she does that, she's switching to a different visor, and that's like the unlock visor where she unlocks things.
Wait, what?
She has
Visor unlocks? You mean gun?
No, she has like 4 heads-up displays, and one of them, and you saw it there where it did that zoom-in thing, that was one of her heads-up displays out of the 4 that she's got, and that one's for information purposes and for unlocking doors.
Gotcha.
Take a look at the next one.
Let's get back to it. Yeah, no, I swear that's Craig right there. It is. It's got to be.
Now here's another, this is the heads-up display one again, and it looks like, you'll see the information will appear on the side. Check this out.
She about rapes this one. Oh wait, it's already there. I said he.
It's a she. There's a charge.
That was Sean's warp that he liked.
Yeah. And then the last video here shows where Samus goes into a tunnel, and then there's a hologram here, and a hologram is something that you do to unlock something in the stage.
It's downloading the map.
Oh, downloading the map, that's right. The morph ball just looks so awesome. It's all metallic looking and reflective.
I don't really understand. I never understood the whole ball thing in the first place. So.
No. I guess it's always been there.
It doesn't seem like that suit can really be there. This gets the elevator going. And this is, I believe, the last clip.
Yeah.
As far as IGN has been posting one movie a week of about 25 seconds of game footage. And that was the compilation so far. I think they should be posting again here on Monday. So hopefully we'll have another little giblet for next week's show. The next segment we're going to toss to Craig. I'm going to actually... He's going to help me hack my Tivo this week sometime.
Yeah. What we're going to do is the Tivo supports now actual...
He just made
you
it
can use
quieter.
this... What I do?
Craig, we couldn't quite hear you out here, unfortunately.
Oh, you can't hear me at all?
No.
Okay.
Might have to turn the speakers up down here in just a moment. But
Okay.
Go ahead with your
Wait,
segment,
you
Craig.
said something.
You were going to talk about...
I just turned it up a lot.
Yeah, now
Okay,
you're
yeah.
better now.
The speaker over there got turned down. Sean might just need to turn it up over there.
Sean was not going to talk about Tivo. You were.
No, turn up the speakers underneath the table
Oh, okay.
so you can hear me talk. Cause
Sean was going to turn up the speaker?
Yeah, right
He
there by
can.
your foot.
Yes, he can.
The little speaker.
Yeah, they'll be able to turn it up. And
Go ahead.
People,
Okay, just go ahead and start talking,
Yeah,
Craig.
there
You
we
got
go.
it taken care of.
What they're going to be able to do in the new Tivo 3.0 software is they have allowed, they're called unofficial hacks, unofficially supported hacks. And you can use, like, by default, use a Tivonet card to actually download your updates off the net, and that's officially supported by Tivo. You can also put like a dial-up connection, support off the serial on your PC with Windows 2000 or XP, and you dial a prefix like #211, and it will use your PC's internet connection to download the updates, and that helps Seth because he's poor and only has a cell phone and doesn't have a regular phone, so he'll be able to actually get his updates without using a phone line. Does that sound cool?
That sounds very, very cool. I'm very excited to do that. Hopefully we'll get that done within the next couple of days.
Hooray.
Did you show the image of the back of the Tivo?
We did not show the image of the back of the Tivo.
No, it's too hard for me to do that whenever I'm talking on the camera. I can't switch like that.
Then
Me talking and prompting media doesn't work very good. Because I could go like this, and then go like this, and then go like this.
okay.
It's a lot of steps involved.
What are the red circles?
Oh, let's talk about the red circles. Let's see, it's a lot of steps involved here. There.
So you want to be a director?
Well, the red circles already on there were from somebody else where Chris got the picture, and it's where you unscrew
Oh, okay.
it.
That is the screw. That's what I was saying. Is there something?
This must be from like a hack site where they're talking about how to get it apart. Because it is, you have to like
That's
take...
a complicated hack.
No, actually, when you take the screws off, you have to pull on it really, really hard.
That's true. I've bent the crap out of the back of my case.
We tore yours up trying to take it apart. But Chris put a nice arrow on there. It's got a little headphone jack on there, and every Tivo comes with an actual serial adapter. It's meant to control DSSs, RCA DSSs, but it's a 9-pin serial connection is really all it is. And that same port is the same one that they use if you want to get like a bash prompt on the Tivo, to where you basically your terminal into the Tivo. And there's actually, even before you get to a bash, there's a diagnostics menu you get on there, and you can actually in that diagnostics menu do all sorts of cool things like change the partitions that you're going to boot off of and stuff like that, test things, and that's like a ROM menu is what it is. But anyway, that little headphone jack there, a little 1/4 inch, uses a cable that you have. So all you have to do is put a null modem on the end of it, put it in your XP PC, tell your XP to go ahead and accept an incoming call off the serial, and then once you do that, you're done. As long as you got a broadband connection always on, you can even make it. It'll force a dial out, but I wouldn't trust that. That wouldn't be very reliable. It's still pretty cool though.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sean, Chris has turned into Sean. Sean's going to join us to talk a little bit about the new. You better just set it up. I don't even know.
This is making an old thing new, Dreamcast development. Anybody that has ever wanted to program for a gaming console on their own, but thought it would be too hard to learn, go to school, whatever, now you can do it for the Dreamcast really, really easily. There's going to be links probably on the actioncorp site to this stuff directly, but you can find it on dcemulation.com in the message forums. There's a couple of gentlemen that have made 2 add-in packages to integrate into Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual C++, so that you can make applications for the Dreamcast using the IDE for Visual Studio. You have all the same tools that you would normally use for Visual C and IntelliSense, things that will pop up and tell you the different methods and properties of each control. It builds a basic setup for you, a basic project, and you're ready to go. You just add the code in for your application, and you compile it, and you can send it right out to the Dreamcast. Now, the really cool thing is if you have the broadband adapter for your Dreamcast, you can plug it into your computer's network. You run what's called the IP slave on your Dreamcast. You burn an image to a CD, boot that on your Dreamcast. It waits for an incoming connection from your PC. Then you use a tool called IP send to load your Dreamcast project that you compiled yourself in Visual Studio. It will send and execute that on your Dreamcast. It runs actually on the Dreamcast hardware itself on the TV, so you can debug your project, see how it runs, see if you like what it does before you even burn it to a CD or before you even put it out there on the web. All these things are free, excluding the Dreamcast hardware itself and the Visual Studio. You have to buy a legit copy of that. But the stuff for the Dreamcast to build your own project is all using free open source tools, GCC. It makes the makefiles themselves. And it was just some guy did on the side basically to get you to be able to make that easily without using Linux as your development system. So it's really, really cool. Hopefully we'll have some stuff later on in another episode showing exactly how to hook that up and get it to work and showing an application actually being compiled and sent to the Dreamcast. So it's really cool. You can make your own apps for the Dreamcast now just right off your PC. So that is it. That's application building for the Dreamcast.
You're going to do it too, aren't you?
I definitely already have actually. So it's very nice.
We're gonna see a little bit of that next week. We should.
Yeah, we should. Hopefully we'll have some kind of Hello AC application or something instead of Hello World, and we can just bring it right up on the TV on the Dreamcast. So
we'll do it. Hooray!
Hooray! That's awesome.
The next thing we're going to talk about, first we're going to have a little segment on Eternal Darkness in just a little bit. Eternal Darkness, I just bought a few other people's. It's actually a flaming hot post on ActionCorp's website right now, although some of the posts have nothing to do with the game. The thing I like about it is it's very, very, very un-Resident Evil-like. We're going to have a closer look at that in just a second. But first, Chris is going to join us with a look at Sonic Advance 2 for the Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance, that's right. Already, after the huge success of the original Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance, Sega team, I think Sonic team has a part in this, but they're not the actual programmers. I can't remember the team who actually did it.
Is it THQ?
It may be THQ, I think you're right. But they have already begun development of a sequel, Sonic Advance. It's another great 2D platformer for the Game Boy Advance. Luckily, we've got the first set of 6 screenshots for Sonic Advance 2. So we're going to take a look at those here, one in succession. Let's take a look at the first one right now. You can see they've added some new animations, much more colorful stages. Hopefully they'll show up a lot better on the Game Boy screen, which always seems to be kind of dark. So bright games like this always seem to turn out well. Here you see Knuckles, again, a playable character, doing his flying and what looks like much a Green Hill type stage right here. Here's Tails using his tail swipe. Again, he's a playable character as well. in some kind of a lava stage, it looks like. But again, bright color, should look really good on the Game Boy screen. Here's Sonic doing what looks like a new move. It's a sort of a kind of a skid or something.
Mega Man Power Slide.
Yeah, something. Yeah, exactly. That's what it reminded me of. In a very musical-looking environment. This is an interesting screen because, and I think the next one is like this too, in that. Actually, this one goes back to the lava stage, but here's Knuckles again climbing walls again, knowing that he's going to have that same ability in the next game. That's pretty cool. And then finally, here's the last one I wanted to comment on, is it looks like a very musical, very kind of, it's not a realistic looking stage. It's very kind of old school Sonic, kind of a trippy looking.
Yeah, and the piano keys going up and down.
Yeah, right. And I can almost guarantee that when you bounce off those piano keys, they're gonna make make noise and stuff. It looks really neat.
Is it possible to go back to a previous Sonic screen?
Sure.
Like one with actually Sonic on it?
Yeah, go back to the first one.
Look at the icon down the bottom left. It looks very, very like the first Sonic.
It does.
That looks like the little icon that he had for, I don't know if that's just like
the original
throwback to the original
It
Sonic
might be. The
Genesis or what?
The screen resolution of the Game Boy Advance is actually slightly better than the original Genesis, so it could be the exact icon. I mean, if they wanted to pull it off, they could do it.
It just looks, it doesn't match the style that THQ had been doing with
You're right.
the original either. It just looks like they ripped it straight out of there.
One thing I really liked about THQ's original Sonic Advance was that all the characters had just a huge plethora of animations. Not just when they were standing still, but even when they moved, and they used some of the kind of the Mode 7 looking effect, where when people flipped around, they actually took the sprite and did this turn thing on it. It looked very fluid.
Like when they did a trampoline.
Did a trampoline, exactly. It was very cool looking, and I'm almost certain that they're going to continue that into this next sequel. So there's some first screenshots there, and you can guarantee that I will do a review on that game when it comes out, because it's almost certain that I'm going to purchase that one. So going right from that, we're going to go into a segment that I'd like Seth to take over here. He has purchased Eternal Darkness, and he's going to talk about that.
Eternal Darkness is, for all intents and purposes, I really thought it was going to be a Resident Evil clone, and it's so far from it. It's not. It's more. They call it a psychological thriller. It's supposed to be more of a creepy ass kind of. It's not constant shooting things. It's more exploration. It's sound effects really, really get you involved in it. There's surround sound that I don't have at my house, but I bet it would be really neat. There's a lot of screaming and creepy noises. Let me get into. I can go ahead and just load a save game right now.
I'll ask you a few questions while this is loading up.
Sure.
First of all, many people who've been keeping track of this particular game for a while now know that this game actually first appeared or was in development for the original N64. Is that right?
Yes. They decided after it was, I guess, about a year before they stopped developing first party for the N64, that they said, you know what, this game's good enough that we need to take it down. So I think total it's been in development for 6 years.
Wow. And apparently they've been making a lot of revisions. They didn't just like upgrade the N64 engine. Apparently they redid the whole engine for the GameCube to make it look really cool.
Yes, it's a completely overhauled engine that Silicon Knights developed.
We're hearing thunder. Is that what that is?
No, it's weird knocking. It's weird. It's just ridiculous, creepy sound effects that they've added.
Just freak you out.
Yeah.
Now, what were you doing a moment ago? It looked like you were kind of like tiptoeing.
Yeah, it's just the analog stick. The more you press, you can like things like that. You'll hear somebody walking around upstairs.
Explain to me a little bit about the idea. There's something in this game about sanity, and that has something to do with the gameplay.
Yeah, and unfortunately, right now I'm not at a point where I can use the insanity meter. The game itself is, you are this character, Alex Roy. She has arrived at her grandfather's mansion where he has been decapitated. She wanders through the mansion trying to figure out what could have killed him, and she finds this book called The Tome of Eternal Darkness. And it's basically a collection of her family's history fighting this tremendous evil that has gone through their family and how they've fought it. And each time you read a story, you actually take that character, you take over that part of the story. You become that chapter of the story.
That makes sense, because I remember seeing screenshots of what looked like gladiator type figures. Whoa.
I just
That was cool.
I cast a creepy spell to fix the key so I could walk in the store.
So I guess the gladiator screenshot I saw must have been one of the books.
It was. It was the first one you played. He was a Roman soldier. Now, he actually was one of the only characters that was not actually fighting the evil. He actually became the evil.
I see.
In just a second, the camera's going to rotate, and there's going to be a bust of a head on the right. Okay.
You're not really supposed to answer them.
Watch the bust on the table there.
Okay, now that's creepy.
I mean, kind of on the goofy side of like Haunted Mansion.
Oh, you're looking at it too.
Yeah. If you stand still for a while, generally blood will start dripping down walls or things will warp visually. They don't want you to be comfortable, and it's.
Have you had anything jump out at you?
I'll show you. Unfortunately, without sitting in the darkness and playing this for a while, it's hard to get this total effect of how creepy this is. But this place right here was the first time I had screamed in the game. Actually, I had been playing. I had a couple of drinks in me, and this was the first thing that absolutely creeped me out right here. It was a lot louder when I played, and I had no lights on. So
yeah,
that was a quick image of myself dead in a pool of blood in the bathtub.
Lovely.
And there was a loud scream that accompanied it.
Well, let's go into one more room, and then we ought to quit right there because we're kind of running a little short. But so far, it looks a lot like Resident Evil.
The control is different. I wish I could get into it. I wish I had a better save point. That's about the only thing, because I can't seem to.
Whoa! So we got a cinema sequence here.
I don't know. That looks like a French. I think Liberace just walked through that wall.
Now, why are all these things happening?
And you have no idea. That's when you show up. All the things in this mansion just start to come apart. Your grandfather, in reading his accounts, he says that he's come across a terrible evil. One of the quotes in the beginning of the game is, "You too will come to know fear as I have." I guess it's part of her destiny to start fighting this evil. All around the house there are very creepy, disgusting paintings, and I'd like to get to a point where blood. There we go. On the painting to the left of the painting.
Oh yes, I see it. A little bit of blood.
Bizarre things will happen, or lights will go out, or if I ever could. I'll just have to describe it. As you're playing these different characters and you come across things like zombies, monsters, as they see you, you have a meter. Besides your health meter, you have what's called the insanity meter. And as that deteriorates, the game gets much harder. Sound starts getting louder. Bad guys will be tiny or gigantic, or you'll walk into a room and it's the same room you just left. Or the screen will warp so you can't tell what's going on. I've read something about there being a fake blue screen of death that pops up at one point. There's just really funny and inventive things that will go on in the game to just absolutely make you not ever be comfortable. That was the main purpose of the game, is to not ever get you never get you settled. Just be completely nerve-wracked as you're playing this game.
Very cool.
So that's basically an overview. I'd like to pack this for next week and just give you a highlight of some of the insanity effects from the game. But that will be basically all our coverage of Eternal Darkness for now.
That's very cool. Yeah, very creepy. I can see where they're going with the creepiness there. How much time do we have left there, Craig?
We have about 4 minutes.
Do we want to try to get the last segment in?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. We have nothing else.
Yes.
Just cut to Seth for a second.
Karaoke.
And go ahead and intro that.
Okay, what we're going to have now is Sean magically reappear. He's going to talk with us a little bit about a present he's ordered from a faraway land that's going to make his video gaming a lot more fun and a lot more interesting. Sean joins us now on the set.
There we go. I just ordered my Enigma X mod chip for my Xbox. So we are going to have live, hands-on demonstrations of what the Xbox will do after it has been modded. I've ordered my chip about 3 days ago. Could be here anywhere from 4 to 15 days is what they said is coming from China. So we have to wait. But once we have it, got to solder 29 wires into the Xbox. Hopefully I'll do it without completely destroying the circuit board in the Xbox. I've already been all over IRC channels getting applications. New things have been released, betas of emulators as well as media players. So we should have a lot of good Xbox yumminess to show on the upcoming episodes of actioncorp TV. So hopefully we'll have that either next week or week after that. We'll have some good stuff to show on the biggest console system to be in development ever. So.
What is it? What was that quote?
The Xbox is the biggest console system to ever be released.
The biggest? You mean
physically?
Okay, all right.
Physically,
all right. I didn't know if that was
huge,
if that was an editorial
No,
or just a physical observation.
It can crush the GameCube.
It's
so
true.
It can crush it.
It can crush it physically.
There was an EGM article where they stacked the GameCube up against the Xbox, and they through out the article they had little like battle bots, like illustrations and things coming out of it, and it was just I don't know why I started talking about that. There was no reason to cut to me. That's the end of the story.
We still have like 4 minutes.
How have we had 4 minutes for the last 5 minutes?
Because I forgot I started the tape about 2 minutes early. So
2 minutes early.
Yes.
So then we should have less time than normal.
No, because if I started 2 minutes early, then my counter on the DV cam should say that we have actually 32 minutes. But right now it says we have 27 minutes and 13 seconds.
I don't know what you just said.
It's okay.
Yeah, why don't we just
early.
we're just gonna tap dance? I mean, we might as well just put.
I was just trying to do it in a professional way. No big deal.
Okay, well
we should have more quick news next time, I guess.
Quick news. I was wrapped prematurely on my Eternal Darkness thing. That
No,
was
I was telling you to go longer.
I know, but I got one of these from next door.
Oh. Well, I was trying to say that.
Misunderstanding.
No, I was trying to say on this little ghetto intercom was that.
We cannot hear her.
The ghetto intercom. The problem with the ghetto intercom is we're talking.
Well, doesn't that happen in the real news world where somebody's talking?
Yes,
and you hear things?
but there's no interference because it goes directly into your ear as opposed to backwards that way from a speaker that's made out of like bird wire.
Well, I'm going to probably put the actual other end of the intercom underneath the seats over there, and you guys can press a button to contact me back.
Okay, well, I mean, the directly in the ear thing is very functional in the television.
The only thing I thought, though, was I don't know where to find the earplugs at to buy them. I mean, you could buy a Radio Shack 1960 one that looks like it's a big block sticking out of your ear, but to find a professional one, I didn't know where we'd get it. If any actioncorp viewers know where you can get actual earphones, that
log
look nice
on
that
to
are black.
WeSuck at actioncorp.net.
We don't know how to do our own homebrewtvshow.com. Okay, that's it. Somebody sign up.
That's all. We would
Roll those credits.
Thanks for joining us on Action Corp. Tomorrow or next week, we're going to have a little bit of a Xbox preview. We're going to have more, or not preview. We're going to actually have a hacked Xbox. In theory, we're going to take a look at Final Fantasy X. We're going to look at I don't know what else we're going to look at. Those are two of the big ones, and some stuff. Hopefully, we'll have a Tivo that's getting its.
Macworld.
Oh yeah, Macworld.
Macworld.
Macworld happens this Wednesday, and Chris is going to take a close look at that. Tivo should be hacked. Many more things. Thanks for watching.
Worst song ever!